Hey, what's up guys? I'm re-recording this video because apparently I put my finger over the camera or something. I'm actually doing a book review today. I read a book that I've been hearing about a lot, and I never really got around to because I didn't really think it seemed like it'd be that interesting, and I've been kind of skeptical of the kind of idea that's presented, which is this idea of flow. It's called The Rise of Superman. You can check it out here. And actually, when I first heard the title of this book, I misinterpreted it. Well, it probably has a double meaning, but I think the primary meaning, what I thought it was, Superman, like, you know, Clark Kent Superman, like DC Comics. So what is the book? It's essentially about flow, but it's really told more, it's more a bunch of stories of extreme sports athletes and the kind of crazy things that they did and how that relates to them having to get into a flow state to accomplish those things. The book is entertaining. The insights from just what's capable, what you're capable of, what's possible as a human being are valuable. But as far as the pragmatic aspects of the book, as far as, you know, actually entering the flow state and utilizing that in your day-to-day life, not so much, right? And I say this liking the book, having found it entertaining and everything, but just to be on the up and up, it's just not as valuable as I was hoping. There's some advice, but you know, I think a part of it is just no fault to the author, but just because there's so much that's still unknown about this, right? Fear can get you into a flow state, like these extreme athletes, the reason why they're able to access it, and the, you know, just normal professional athletes are not necessarily, has a lot to do with the fact that it's life or death. If they fail, they're going to die, okay, and suffer catastrophic consequences. The other thing that they talked about was this group atmosphere. So like kind of these groups of, and you've probably experienced this, where high level, like extreme people, you know, they're basically elevating each other's level, like keeping this flow state going, which is pretty cool. And just the idea that a lot of these guys, they live in these flow states, right, which is crazy. And just the reason why that they continue to risk their lives is because it's like almost like a drug addiction, right? It's like the chemical release of endorphins and other chemical neurotransmitters that are released when you're in these flow states and these extreme conditions are highly enjoyable and addictive, right? They call it a peak experience, right? Is what the terminology, other terminology for this is. So anyway, you know, the book is a worthwhile read for the stories. It's entertaining. It'll amaze you what these guys have been able to do. But as far as, you know, I do a lot of these reviews simply because I want you to, you know, if you read, let's say you read 10 books a year, okay, and that's a lot for most people. In 10 years, you're only gonna read 100 books. So you got to filter that down. Now I read like 50, 60 books a year, so I can read more of them, but I even still have to filter it down because I have to make sure, you know, if you only have 100 books that you're gonna gain knowledge from in the next 10 years, you better pick those 100 books carefully, right? Okay, and if you only do 5 a year, that's 50. That's not a lot, okay? That's a lot. There's a lot of books out there. So I say that because this is one of those books where if you're not reading a ton of books, I might skip and try to find maybe a better book on flow that's more practical and how you can utilize in your life. If there is one, I don't know if there is. I think that the knowledge in that area is still evolving, which he talks about in the book, right? The author of the book has a flow genome project that you can check out that talks about this. But anyway, the other thing I'd say also about this is probably a good time to talk about my friend Manny from 2000 Books. He's got book reviews, or book summaries, not reviews. I do reviews, he does summaries. You can check them out. We'll put a link in the description below as well. I've got an affiliate link there, full disclosure, but it's awesome. It's a great way, like if you're not gonna read all these books, to at least get the information from them. I use summaries myself a lot of times after I read the book, just to rehash what I learned in the book. So it's really, really valuable. I wouldn't tell you, like, I mean, what if I can get like a couple dollars if you subscribe? I don't really fucking care. So I'm just telling you because I think it's valuable to you. I was just talking to one of my coaching clients today, and he read like 20 books last month. So I just given him tons of books to read. But you know, you got to be discerning depending on how many books you read, right? Be smart about this because you only got so much time. You got to use it to its max. So that's it. If you haven't already, check out, I've probably done like hundreds of book reviews. You know, click the little I and get the card, or click the description below, and make sure you click the subscribe button. I'll talk to you next time. Take care.